Nipped over to Morrison's this morning, Friday morning, unusual for me, but there was a freebie on Checkout Smart, so I thought I'd grab that. I don't think it's going to be a very impressive freebie. It's one of these porridge pots. I've bought other brands of these in the past and they're pretty gross, but this was free. It's also £1.30. Can you believe £1.30 for that? Anyway, it's apple, cinnamon and brown sugar porridge. I reckon that's going to be pretty gross, but at least I haven't paid for it. What else did I buy? I bought some more napkins for my decoupage candle jars. Wasn't going in there for that at all, but they had their Christmas, post-Christmas reduced. They put those crates on wheels out and they just push them around in the store, and it was full of stuff, and they happened to have two designs. So they had this really nice orange and black design, and then this fairly straightforward, but I thought on the right kinds of jars they might look quite nice. So that's separate to what I've spent on shopping. They were originally £1.50 down to 75p each, so that hasn't cost me a lot, so just need to sell a few. They were also doing some of the mincemeats and things. Now in the past I've managed to pick up those nice bags of boozy fruit, and they have had them this year. They discounted them to £3 a bag, which ain't a discount, and now they're still on the discount shelf, but they've put them up to £4.49 each. I don't understand it. I'm not buying that. But they have put the jars down. So here's a brandy mincemeat. This is their best range. And there's also a spiced maple mincemeat. These are £1 each. Not amazing, and they might go down again, so I'll keep an eye on those because they might discount them further if no one buys them. But these will go into the storage cupboard because they'll last for ages. I've kept things like this a couple of years, and in fact I've still got one in the cupboard, I think. What else did I get? Garlic and herb dip. This makes a lovely stir-in sauce for the stir-fry things I do. These were £1.35 each, 41p. There were several there, so I bought two. What else did I get? More parsnips. The only vegetable that they've got. There are just no discounted veg at the moment. So these were 75p down to 56p. I think I've been using them in my stir fries, but I've got a feeling, I feel like making a parsnip and potato soup. I also bought the other day and was going to show you and take a picture rather than record a video, which is really annoying thing that I've been doing on my new phone. A bag of shredded carrot. It was really cheap. It was like 20p for a big bag of shredded carrot, and I haven't got any carrot in. So I think I might do parsnip, carrot and potato soup and make a big vat of that, because I still have 2 bags of parsnips and they really need using. And the other things I bought, which shouldn't have bought, but I've got the freezer space right now, is wholemeal muffins. These were 80p down to 40p. Pack of 4 there. And they're garlic and coriander pittas, which I quite like. These were 75p down to 38p. And again, these keep really well in the freezer. And if I need a bread type thing, like when I'm making the soup, it's nice to have a little bit of something bready to dip in the soup, so that works really well. So that in total came to £6.96, and if I take off the £1.50 for the napkins, what's left I will put up there what I would have spent and what I've saved on the discount. So it's like my second proper haul video of this year, I think. And I wouldn't have gone out this morning except for I wanted that porridge thing because that was only available today. So I've got to process that on the Checkout Smart app and get my money back on that. And then we'll find out what Mama porridge is like. Anyway, so now I've got even more napkins, and I've been making a video about that over on my little business YouTube channel. So hopefully you can see the results there as well. And I'm swapping between the two because it's just easier. Anyway, I'm going to go off and get all this shopping sorted, get that on the spreadsheet, and then get on with some actual work. Boy, is it cold this morning. Sunday morning, just after 10 o'clock, and I've just got back from Morrison's. Went over to see what I could get. Did all right. I spent £3.07. No vegetables. Again, not good. Anyway, so what I did get was smoked sweet cure mackerel. This was £2.12 down to 85p. They had some Onken vanilla yogurt, which is really nice actually. And these were £1.95 down to 59p. So I bought 2 of those because they're pretty good. And I don't really have any dessert stuff in at the moment, so that'll make a nice alternative. Here's something I never get. Pain au chocolat. These are Morrison's ones, not the cheapy ones. They were £1.80 down to 54p. There's 4 in there, but they're a reasonable size. So that's a bit of fun. And I ended up buying a loaf of bread. I don't normally buy bread, but I've got some space in the freezer. And this was, they call it a protein power loaf. It's a Warburton's. It's got pulses, seeds and grains in it. I like brown and wholemeal bread, so I thought I'd get this. This was £1.25 down to 50p for a full-size loaf. So what I'm going to do is basically divide it up, keep a few slices out and put the rest in the freezer for rainy day. So that is everything. As usual, I put everything up there, so how much it would have cost, how much I've saved. Morrison's have changed the way their More card works, which I'm quite pleased about. So I find it really difficult to earn points unless they're offering a special thing that's going on, because I only shop for yellow stickers, so I don't buy any of the things that are on promotion that they want me to buy because I'll earn points, because it's not worth it. But since, I would say, this started in December, because I remember getting a couple in December, they've started giving out points every time I shop. It's not a huge amount, you know, there's 20 or 30 points every time, because I'm usually spending less than £3 or £4. But I'm almost up to my next Morrison's fiver. I haven't had a Morrison's fiver in ages because they take so long to earn points on. But yeah, so they're offering points now on regular and discounted shops, which is, maybe they've listened to the complaints about how awful the More card is. Anyway, so there's that. So I was pretty busy yesterday. I did my double clean in the morning, and I've been trying to sort out a few more things on my to-do list that I've been putting off. So one of them was, I had put a load of stuff that my dad had given me. So he had some car and bike parts which go way back. I'll put some pictures up here so you can see, and I've put those onto eBay, which has generated a little bit of interest. There are some gaskets for a Sunbeam S8. There's a handbook for a Corsair console and a few other bits like that. So it all kind of goes way back. So that's generated some interest, and some things that he gave me, I think back in October. So there were some nice vintage door hinges and little door brackets and things like that, and some woodworking brackets. And I put those on Etsy first, because sometimes Etsy people, I managed to sell like loads of my granddad's woodworking stuff on Etsy. So I put them on there first, and I sold a couple of bits, but it's not really done that well, and I've decided not to relist them because they charge for every listing as well as the final price and everything. So instead I've put everything on eBay, because eBay is doing free listings, and I've waited for ages to do this. I should have done this ages ago, but I've just recently read that eBay is starting to introduce the buyer protection fee, which is something that Vinted do. So when you buy something, you will also be charged a buyer protection fee, which protects you if anything goes wrong. I don't really understand why they need to do this. I don't think it helps people feel more safe shopping. I've never had any problems with eBay, and if I have problems with eBay have always resolved it. I think this is just another way to make an extra couple of quid, because they're not charging on listings for private sellers now. So I want to get all this stuff listed and hopefully sold before that price comes in, because at the moment I don't have anything else to sell. So hopefully I can shift most of that before that kicks off in I think it's the beginning of February, so I've got about a week and a half, maybe a bit longer. Might give me enough time to get those through. Anyway, so I was doing that yesterday evening because I'm struggling to relax in the evenings and I keep wanting to get up and do stuff. So I saved that to the evening and I did all that relisting, moving over the images and all the things over to eBay. I did that last night, so that kept me busy all evening. And so that's all that done now. So that's something else off my to-do list. I don't really have anything else on my to-do list, although I have been using those new napkins I bought from Morrison's earlier in the week on a couple of jars, and they look really, really good. Those orange flowers particularly look really good with a candle in them. They're really bright. So I'm going to show you how they're getting on and show you what that looks like with a candle in, because I was really impressed with those. And then that will give me my next batch of those to photograph and list. So those will be on Etsy, and then I think I'm going to start making up the listings to go on my Shopify store. We'll see how we get on. January's still slow. People still haven't been paid yet as of me recording this, which is 19th of January, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to have a pain au chocolat, a chocolate croissant, treat myself Sunday, having an actual breakfast of sorts. It's not really a breakfast, is it? It's not good for you. Anyway, so I'm going to get on, sort out with this shopping, get that onto my spreadsheet so I can see what I've saved and what I've spent, and get on with the rest of Sunday. It is another Wednesday morning. I'm having quite a good month on some of my income this month, so I've had a few almost like market research surveys, but some of them have been like online diaries asking me what I watch on TV and when. I've had one that was a product, trying out a product for a month, I think it was a month, and I've just been accepted onto another one, which is to test an new app that's not gone live yet, which helps you to monitor your phone usage, so your online usage. And it's a 2-week study and it's paying £30. But you don't really have to do very much. You just need to have the app on and then have a look at how it's monitoring what you do, see if it's teaching you anything about how you can reduce your usage, if there's anything you want to change, all that sort of thing. So that's quite an interesting one, because I've always wanted to use one of those but never got around to it. So to be able to test a new one and be paid for it rather than have to pay for it is pretty good. A lot of these surveys take a while to pay. They can take up to 30 days, so particularly where the results of what you're doing have to be checked to make sure that you did it properly, that you weren't just messing around just for the money, and to upload the results, and then the company that's paid for this research to be done authorises that you can be paid because you've done it properly. So you can find yourself waiting around a bit, but so I mean that's okay, because when you're looking at it over the course of a year, some of those surveys I will be paid for next month, but it kind of all goes into the same pot, so it doesn't matter. So that's helping next month's survey income to look better, because it's not looking that amazing at the moment. My YouTube income is looking really bad this month, and the only thing that's really changed, I think, is that I've gone from posting a video every other day to every third day, because I've just been posting so much, and I just need to take a bit of a restock, do less of that, make what I'm posting, don't just put everything up just for the sake of it, although that seems to have been making me the money. But I want to improve the content a bit and be a little bit more mindful about what I'm posting. So I'm trying that. We'll see how we get on with that. One other good thing that's happened, or potentially good thing, is that I had a text from the medical unit where I volunteer for medical trials, saying that a study has come up that you fit the criteria for. Are you interested in applying for it? And of course I did. I have my health screening tomorrow, and if I get that study, that's going to give me a fair chunk of money towards my deficit for income this year. I mustn't call it being paid. I made the mistake of calling it being paid before, and someone said you're not supposed to be paid for medical stuff. What that means is that you are compensated for your time and travel expenses. I think of it as pay because it goes into all my money and it pays towards my bills and keeps me afloat. So I think of it as pay, but it's not called pay. It's compensation for your time and effort and your expenses. So even if I fail the screening, which might not necessarily be because there's anything wrong, it might just be that I don't fit the criteria, or they've got lots of people applying so they get to pick and choose who they want, you will receive compensation for that, which works out I think at about £145. So even if I only get the health screening, I've done pretty well, because I got a 3-hour health check, so I know that I'm pretty healthy, and I got paid to do that. So that's great. If I do get the study, it starts really quickly, so it starts next week. So there's a pretty quick turnaround on this, which I quite like the quick turnarounds, because you don't want to be sitting around waiting and worrying. And so that will start next week if I get it. I would imagine I will know by the end of this week. So if I've got my check on Thursday afternoon, that's tomorrow, and I reckon I'll know by the weekend whether or not I've got it, because obviously I have to let you know whether to turn up on the first day or not, and it starts on the Tuesday for me. So fingers crossed for that, because that will clear half the deficit I have for my income projected this year, and that will be a real boost, a really good boost for the beginning of the year. Quiet on everything else. I haven't sold anything yet on my shop, but I've been busy making all those candle jars. I've now run out of jars, so as far as stock goes for the moment, that's it. There isn't anything else I can do. So I have listed them I've listed most of them on Etsy. I have put them all into my Shopify store, which you can find all the links for all of those in the show notes below, and we'll just have to see what happens. I've never expected January to be a good month for sales, just because it's a very slow month. It's the post-Christmas month and all that sort of thing. So I think that just getting stuff into the system is the most important thing. That's the most important thing for January. And that's it really. Last year I tried to start doing those at the end of every month, doing a money roundup of everything that I'd earned and spent and all that sort of thing, and I wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very disciplined, but I might start trying to do that, so that I do one at the end of this month, every month for this year, because I think people are quite interested in the financial audit one for the end of the year. I think people found quite interesting, so maybe a monthly one will be quite good. Someone's dumped a tiny chest of drawers out there, and I'm curious as to whether or not they are salvageable. I'm just going to go and have a look, and if they are, I'll pick them up on the way out. Just going to go and have a look. Not sure about that. They've clearly been out. They're it's like a tiny little wooden bedside chest of drawers, but I think they've been left out in the rain too long, because the top drawer won't pull out. It's swelled against the lid. It's a shame. I don't need any more stuff, do I? Honestly, I really don't need any more stuff. I don't go looking for stuff anymore. If it finds me, it finds me. Anyway, so I'm here for Wednesday clean, and then that's it. Good afternoon. It is definitely afternoon. It's Friday. The last couple of days have been a bit of a washout. So yesterday I had my health screening for this new medical trial that's coming up, and in true me style, my body decided it was going to throw me a headache, which kicked in about 7 o'clock in the morning. And because I had the health screening, I couldn't take anything for it, so I had to power through, and it was not fun. I felt absolutely dreadful. It's just a headache, but it's one of those headaches that just takes over your body. It's like a mini migraine, but I know what it is. It's perimenopausal is what it is. Paracetamol tends to work really well, and I've noticed that the headaches have definitely got better, easier to treat, and don't last as long now that I've started taking magnesium supplements, and I've been doing that since October. So I think that's helping. But typically my body decided it's going to throw me a curveball right when I really don't need it. So I went in, my screening wasn't until 1 o'clock, so I had to get right through the morning at home, trying to stay focused enough, even though I was getting worse and worse. So I went down there, I did the screening. Normally when I'm there it's quite cold, but when I went in there, I walked into the ward and it was like this wall of heat hit me. It was so hot, and when you've got a bad headache and it's a headache that makes you feel a little bit queasy, it was not good. There were a couple of points where I thought, I really hope I don't pass out. But I did the screening, that's all gone fine. I won't know until at the latest the end of the weekend whether or not I've got this trial. I've got a feeling I'm not going to get this one, but we'll see what happens. It is what it is. So the last couple of days haven't been great. I'm recording now because I'm having a lull in symptoms, and I think I've beaten this headache. I feel like I'm coming back up now. The paracetamol will take the edge off it enough for me to be able to function and do things. So I took some paracetamol with me in the car when I went to the screening, so that as soon as I got out I could get a couple of paracetamol down me, and by the time I got home I could feel they were already starting to kick in, which meant when I got in I was able to make some food, because I lose my appetite completely as well. Had some dinner, then I fell asleep on the sofa for an hour or so, and then I was relatively okay for the evening, ticking along, and then at about 9 o'clock I could feel the headache start to come back, because the paracetamol will usually keep it at bay for about 5 hours. So I took 2 more just before I went, about an hour before I went to bed, because what I don't want is a headache coming up through the night, waking me up, and then I lose sleep, and that also triggers headaches. So I did that, and when I woke up this morning, I woke up probably about 7, half 7, and I could just feel it starting here. This is where, if I'm going to get a bad headache, this is where it happens. It happens down here and along here. So the first thing I did when I got up was take a couple more paracetamol. I felt dreadful when I woke up. It's now, so that was about 8:30 I took those tablets. It's now about 1:45, and just in the last half hour or so, I've suddenly feel like I'm coming back to life. I was doing stuff this morning, still trying to sort out this thing with Universal Credit. It's just ridiculous. So I was trying to do some of that, just sitting on the sofa with the laptop, doing what I could. So that's that. So that's the last few days kind of done. And then hopefully I will find out ASAP about this trial, and if I get that, that will start on Tuesday morning. Just wanted to show you something which is rather good fun. So my seeds have started to sprout. Look, these are my broad beans. I only planted 4 and 4 are coming up. Over here I have the sweet peas, and here is tomatoes, and I've just watered them this morning, and I'm pretty sure that that little thing there and that little thing there are seeds starting to sprout. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to upset them. Anyway, I wouldn't expect them to come up this soon anyway. But yeah, I've got the broad beans coming up. And the peas are having a whale of a time. Peas are so easy to grow. I wish they were as much fun to harvest. I put three in each of some of them, and some of them got 2 because I only had so many seeds. So I'm not sure how many seeds haven't germinated, but I've got a little selection there. So that's all fun. That's a reminder that spring's on its way. So I'm really happy about that. Things are just starting to sprout and do their thing, which gives me hope for the spring. They said it would be windy today, and it's blowing a gale out there. It's not horrific, we've had worse, but there are bins, any empty bins that have been left out on the street are now rolling down the road. Because people leave their bins out when they shouldn't, and somebody dumped a suitcase out next to the abandoned Christmas tree, which is still there, and that suitcase is also rolling down the road as well. So that's great. But that's kind of Friday. I'm hoping that I've now beaten this headache. I'm hoping I don't get any more downturn this afternoon, this evening. I haven't eaten yet today, couldn't bear the thought of it, but I'm just starting to feel hungry now, which is a good sign that I've beaten it. And I'm tending to find that instead of headaches lasting 3 days, they're lasting 2 and not being as bad. I've had to stop taking the supplements though, the vitamin D and the magnesium. You're not allowed to take them when you're on medical studies. You're only allowed prescription medication that you actually need, because it affects the baseline. Because if I take it, then everybody has to take it, because everyone has to be the same. So I've stopped taking those. I took my last tablets yesterday, and if I get the trial, it'll be a month before I can take them again, but it'll be fine. I think I'll manage. So that's Friday. I think, I haven't even managed to get dressed yet. I've still got my pyjamas on. I've put my hoodie on because it's cold. I just couldn't even face the thought of trying to get dressed this morning. I felt so awful. And I don't need to go out today. I've sold something on eBay, but I can drop that off tomorrow on the way to cleaning, which I'm doing tomorrow, Saturday. I wanted to go to Sainsbury's this morning. I top up on a few things. Couldn't even face it, and I'm not going to go now. I can't be bothered. It's not going to hurt. I'll do that on Sunday probably. And that's it really. Yeah, so Thursday, a little bit of a washout, but also productive. Friday, it's just been rubbish. I'm just going to give up and write off today and start again tomorrow, because it's just the way I feel. Anyway, so that's that. Catch you later. Saturday afternoon, I had a bit of an accident while I was cleaning this morning. I had some problems with one of the gates outside the building, and they've sorted it now. So I was putting out the rubbish, and I slid back the bolt on the gate, which is usually really stiff, and it wasn't stiff, and crushed my thumb in the bolt, which then began bleeding profusely. It doesn't hurt as much now, but it's not a great colour. It's really annoying because I'm left-handed, so, as all the best people are, and so now I have this stuck on my have thumb. I injured myself a couple of weeks ago at one of my other cleans and scraped my arm down I think it was just like a door frame, and I scraped all down my arm. It was a right mess. I'm so accident prone. And then walking back from that clean in my road, I saw a massive rat crushed on the road where someone had run over it, and I even took a picture of it just for you. This thing was huge. It may have looked bigger because it was flat. But no surprise we have rats. People don't understand how wheelie bins work here, or understand how bin days work. So we end up with a lot of rubbish just dumped in the streets because people are thick. Anyway, rats. No surprise we have rats. Stay with me. Just taking my hat off. I've just come back from Morrison's Sunday morning. All go this morning. I've dropped off 3 parcels, 2 Vinted, 1 eBay, and as I arrived at Morrison's it was about 10:15, I can hear all this commotion. There's a lad running across the car park as fast as he can, being chased by the security guard, nicking stuff out of Morrison's. Who steals from Morrison's before they've even opened in the morning? I mean, you don't stand a chance, do you? And this lad was very, very put out that he got caught, because he managed to catch the guy and frog marched him back into the store. All go. Anyway, so I'm still bandaged up. Doesn't hurt anymore, actually. Looks pretty gruesome, but it's better than it was yesterday, which is good. So Morrison's. So I had quite a good one at Morrison's today. The last time I went shopping, I reached my Morrison's fiver. Now, you have to use them kind of, as soon as you drop the fiver down into your account, you have to use it at the next time you go. So, I've used it today. My total for today came to £9.43, and that's because I knew I was going to get a fiver for free. So I've actually spent £4.43, but I'll do the usual at the end and show you what I would have saved and everything. So I'm going to show you what I got. I got a couple of things that were full price because I knew that I was getting them for free, and it's the same as me going down to Sainsbury's and using Nectar points to get stuff for free. So the 2 things that I bought, because I don't have any at all, is flour. You used to be able to get loads of flour. There was a phase where I was picking up so much flour, and I still have loads of brown flour for bread baking and what have you, but I have nothing left now for baking cakes or anything else. So these were 79p each. They're quite big. I think these are the 1.5k, the Savers version. They're all the same. So I bought 2 of those so that I'm stocked up. So that's those 2. What else did I get? I got some of those chocolate croissants. I've recorded a couple of me doing hauls, but not properly, because there were days when it was evening ones and I was really tired, and I just recorded what I had bought, but I didn't do a spiel to go with it, and I've just not found the space to put them in. I bought these earlier in the month as well, these pain au chocolats. These are £1.80 down to 72p, so I bought one of those. Got some beetroot. These were 79p down to 40p. There's, I think, 5 in there. Quite a lot of yoghurt today, which is good because I have nothing to eat. I was going to bake yesterday, but of course I've done this, and I'm thinking about baking today, but it depends on this. I need to do baking that doesn't involve me having to make pastry with my hands. So I've taken a bit of that Just Roll out the freezer because I can probably do that one-handed. And then if I make a cake, that's just mixing. So I'm hoping that I can get that done because I don't really have anything else in. So this is a Greek yoghurt. This was £2 down to £1.50, and normally I wouldn't buy discount yoghurt at £1.50, but this is the 1 kilogram tub. So that's, normally I wouldn't buy them that big, so that works. But then I also saw a a Greek style yoghurt with honey, when I really like the honey one. That was £1.59 down to 80p, so I bought that as well. And in case I don't get around to any of the baking, that solves that problem. More hummus, £1.35 down to 41p, and I bought 2 of those because I love the hummus. What else did I get? I bought a pack of 2 avocados. These were £1.60 down to £1.20, which works out at 60p each. Now, I saw some single ones that were priced individually, and they were 66p each, so that works out a bit cheaper. Bought lettuce, romaine lettuce, 2 of those in a bag. These were £1.09 down to 55p, and I've bought 2 of those as well. Bought some bagels because obviously I have avocados now. 75p for these down to 56p. Oops, they've got all flying everywhere. And the last thing I bought was some tomatoes. This is a pack of regular salad tomatoes. 6 in there. They were 99p down to 75p. Not an amazing bunch of discounts. I'm not seeing very good discounts at the moment. There's the odd thing if it's like a really highly perishable, that if they don't sell it that afternoon it's going to end up in the bin sort of thing. But not amazing. Anyway, so that's everything. So that's a busy morning done. So I'm going to go and sort out this lot. I've got to put this onto my spreadsheet so I know what I've spent, what I haven't spent, knock off the £5, and I'll put the information up there. It shows what I would have spent if I bought everything full price, what I would have, what I've saved by buying it on discount, and then I shall knock off the £5 so that you can see what I would have actually spent. So that's it. Sunday morning done. I think I'm going to have a cup of tea and a chocolate croissant. Why not? I baked. I made a cake using my usual recipe. Can't remember what I call it now. And this is a lemon one, so I chopped up some lemon rind, put that in, and then after it was cooked, I've just poked holes in the top and dribbled some lemon juice in it, and that will make a nice lemon cake. I've made this before, and if you look through my my videos, my frugal cooking, you'll find the basic recipe for this. It's the simplest of cake recipes ever. And I also used the Just Roll and made, I was thinking of making like a really cheap version of a jam roly-poly. I just wanted something a bit different. But when I looked at the jams I had, I didn't have a jam that was like the sort of thing you get in a jam roly-poly. I had 2 jams in the cupboard, which I think are from 2023, and I hadn't opened them. I'm not really a jam eater as such, but it's nice in baking. And there was this one, which was apple and cinnamon. You can see that. Apple and cinnamon. And I rolled out the Just Roll like as if I was going to make a jam roly-poly. And I think I've made a cheap version of an apple strudel, because this is apple and cinnamon fruit spread, and it's really nice. So I don't think you can see that. I've already tasted the end of it. So I made a great big long roll, cut it in half, and then I cooked it, and it's really nice. Just Roll pastry is really good, and because I can't do the actual messing around with the pastry because of my thumb, I could do it one-handed. So that's how it looks. I don't know if you can see that. Does that come out? I can't tell. Does that come out? Maybe. It's really good. Oh, so good. It's just like a strudel. It tastes so nice. Anyway, so that's what I've been occupying with myself this afternoon. Wind's really picked up, rain's in. Not going out there. Just been doing some admin and sorting stuff out, still waiting to hear about this trial. I don't know why I've got so fixated about it. I think because I missed out on last year, I really want to get the money in this year. So, still waiting it out. You can see me okay. It's 6:20 in the morning on Tuesday morning. This is not a normal hour for me by any stretch of the imagination. I hate mornings and early ones like this. So I finally got contact from the medical units 4 o'clock yesterday to say that I hadn't got the trial, but they want me to come as a reserve just in case things don't work out with the people they have chosen, which sometimes happens. I've seen it happen. So that means I've got to get there pretty much when they get there and then wait and see what happens. And the chances are I will go home. But they do compensate you for your time, so it's a little bit extra. But it does mean getting up very early. So here I am. The amount of traffic on the road is crazy. Oh my goodness. That's not the motorway. Wow. Motorway is chocker. That's just really weird. I've never seen this before. I've never been up this early. Well, not in a long time anyway. There's a lot of traffic out there. But the timing looks fine. I'm going to be there in time. And that's it. 2.5 hours later and I'm off home. They didn't need me, which is fair enough. I'm going home for a cup of tea and a chocolate croissant. I'm tired. And I think this is a good place to wrap up. So that's another week done. And it's the end of January. I cannot believe it is the end of January. It's gone so fast. Anyway, thank you for watching this. I hope that some of my other videos are interesting. I've deep dived into a couple of questions recently, which I hope people are finding useful. And yeah, that's it. I will catch you on the next one. So have a good week and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.